Well, thanks for watching Market Day Report. Good morning. I'm Suzanne Alexander. A Louisiana wheat farmer recently lost his crop due to a lack of rainfall drainage that resulted from debris blockage under a public highway bridge. Now, it raises the question of loss recovery when the government doesn't act timely to fix a road issue. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now for more on this. Always great to have your perspective. So, Roger, a little background on this situation and the farmer's predicament.
Well, you're right, Suzanne. Good to be with you today. And it was a wheat farmer in Louisiana, and there had been several days of sustained rain. And because of silt and debris that had built up in the ditch that flowed under the bridge that hadn't been cleared out, this field wouldn't properly drain. It was supposed to drain into that ditch. And so the water backed up onto his wheat field. And he complained to the state. He went in and talked to him and said, hey, I need that cleared because my field is flooding and it normally drains here. And he went back, I think, on 2 additional successive times on back-to-back days when he didn't get a reaction. And in about 6 days' time, his wheat crop was fully inundated and it failed. He lost the entire wheat crop. And he sued the state Department of Transportation in Louisiana for failure to clear that blockage, and he lost the case.
So what were the missteps here? Was it going to the state? Was the state just failed to react like they should have?
Well, he was claiming that the state failed to react in a timely manner, and the court said, well, wait a minute, this is a tort case, and when we have a tort case, we have to have a duty that was breached that caused damages. You have to have all 4 of those requirements, and they said the duty is on the state to maintain the bridge for road safety purposes, and there's a duty to keep the ditch under the bridge clear. But the question was whether they acted in a reasonable and timely manner, which is required by state law. And the court said they actually cleared it in 2 weeks. They had their machinery and equipment and personnel committed to other projects, and they got to it as quick as they could. And the court said that's reasonable based on the statute and what the state agencies are required to do. And unfortunately for the farmer, the reasonable timeline in this situation was too late for him. He lost his crop.
Yeah, I mean, Roger, when we're looking at this, right, farmers don't have that kind of time. So right. What are the steps? What do they need to do to get somebody to act accordingly?
Well, I can tell you, I don't know the specifics of this situation because the court opinion doesn't tell us. But what do you think a lot of farmers are going to do? It's going to be self-help, right. Pulling the machinery out of my barn. And if I can clear that obstruction without getting out on the road, which I can't do to create a traffic hazard, then I'm going to try to get an excavator in there if I've got one from my field and can access it and clear that blockage enough to get some drainage. That may not have been possible in this situation, which is why he went to the county. But most farmers are probably going to try to take care of the situation themselves and not even involve the state. But we do have to realize that the state personnel are public servants, and they have to act in a reasonable manner. And the thing is, the court said they did in this situation, but it was just too late. So hopefully he had crop insurance or something else that could make him whole.
Yeah. Any advice before I let you go on how farmers should deal with local and state governments?
I think a good rule of thumb is always maintain good communications with your county board of supervisors or whatever they're called, county commissioners, the road department. Develop those relationships. I know a lot of farmers do that, but that's good practical advice. And a lot of times those people are your friends. They're in the community anyway. We know them from just a rural community standpoint. If you're dealing with the state, it's a little bit different than dealing with the county, but maintaining those relationships is good for when situations like this arise.
Yeah, that's good advice across the board for anything, isn't it? Thank you, Roger, very much. Appreciate your insight into this case. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law.